Russia has stepped up its offensive on the Ukrainian capital Kyiv. On Friday, Moscow carried out high-precision strikes in the capital city of Ukraine. The attack came during a visit by UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres. The Russian assault on Kyiv resumed after a brief lull and just when residents had started returning home. India Today's Abhishek Bhalla and Rajesh Pawar bring you this report from Ground Zero. A residential building on fire in Ukrainian capital after two Russian missiles struck Kyiv. This is what remains after the Russian attack in the Shevchenko district of Kyiv. Reports say at least 10 people have been injured. Several remain trapped in the debris.
There are two missiles which hit this area. This is the residential complex which you see behind me, and behind in that direction is a military target, which we have been told was a military target. But this building behind us is a residential area which was badly hit, and a lot of people probably have died in this strike. One body was taken out just a few minutes back. How many more? We are not sure right now. They are removing the rubble.
A young radio producer was killed in the missile attack. Her body was recovered from the debris. Russia has stepped up its offensive on the Ukrainian capital after a brief lull. The attack came during the visit of the United Nations Secretary-General.
Ukraine is an epicenter of unbearable heartache and pain. I witnessed that very vividly today around Kyiv. The senseless loss of life, the massive destruction, the unacceptable violations of human rights and the laws of war. It is vital that the International Criminal Court and other UN mechanisms conduct their work so that there can be real accountability.
Two rockets even hit a children's hospital in the densely populated area of the Ukrainian capital.
Відбулось два вибухи двох ракет. Was two rockets. Здорові, але приміщення не придатне до використання.
All doctors are safe, and but you see what was our
Rescuers racing against time to save as many lives as possible.
This is what is left of a residential building that was struck by a missile strike. This is in the center of Kyiv town, completely destroyed. The only silver lining here was that this building wasn't fully occupied. Most of the homes were empty. This was still an under construction building that was almost ready, but people had not moved in. But those who were here, several hundreds, were caught in the debris. They had to be evacuated after the missile strike. The relief work is still on. A clear picture of the relief work that is still on. There are several people who've been wounded. No deaths have been reported from here.
The Russian assault on Kyiv came just when residents had started returning to the capital city.
Kyiv's still a dangerous place, and Kyiv is still the target of Russians. Yes, of course, the capital of Ukraine is a goal, and they want to occupy it. They doesn't have a chance to do that. Thanks for Ukrainian forces, for Ukrainian soldiers.
While Russia has focused on the eastern part of Ukraine, the missile attack on Kyiv proves one thing: no part of Ukraine is safe from Russian missiles and rockets.
At a time when the UN chief was here for the attack to take place, a clear signal, a clear hint that Russia is intensifying its offenses, and it seems that this war is only likely to continue for a very long time. We are not at a frontline location. This is in the center of Kyiv. So one can imagine what the situation has been at places where the real battle is on. With camera person Parminder Sharma in Kyiv, Abhishek Bhalla for India Today.
Russia has escalated its response to Western sanctions imposed on them. Moscow has cut off gas supply to Poland and Bulgaria. Russia's state energy giant Gazprom said it had fully halted supplies to both these countries. The European Union described the decision to halt supplies as attempted blackmail. But what does this mean for Germany, for Italy, and for other countries in Europe? Let's find out. 10 European energy companies are believed to have set up ruble accounts to continue procuring gas from Russia after Russian energy giant Gazprom completely cut off gas supply to Poland and Bulgaria. Details are yet to be made public, but Gazprom was reported to have said that 4 European gas buyers had already paid in rubles to continue getting gas from Russia. European Union President Ursula von der Leyen claimed Russia was using gas as an instrument of blackmail.
Gazprom's announcement that it is unilaterally stopping gas deliveries to certain EU member states is another provocation from the Kremlin. But it comes as no surprise that the Kremlin uses fossil fuels to try to blackmail us. This is something the European Commission has been preparing for in close coordination and solidarity with member states and international partners. Our response will be immediate, united and coordinated.
Reports from Europe say gas companies in Germany and Italy may be next in the line of Russian President Vladimir Putin's fire, who last month insisted unfriendly countries must pay for energy in rubles. This is Russia using gas supply to Europe as a weapon to respond to sanctions imposed by the West after Russia's special operations in Ukraine.
I have signed a decree today that sets the rules of Russian natural gas trade with so-called unfriendly states. We are offering our contracting parties from such countries a clear and transparent agreement. To buy Russian gas, they should open ruble accounts in Russian banks and pay for gas from these accounts.
As the May deadline for payment of gas approaches, European unity is under severe strain. Poland had already planned not to renew gas contracts with Gazprom by 2022 year-end. Bulgaria is seeking additional supplies from friendly countries to make do with the shortfall of supply, with Russia turning off the gas. EU President put up a brave face, saying the era of Russian fossil fuel was over.
Today, the Kremlin failed once again in his attempt to sow division among member states. The era of Russian fossil fuel in Europe is coming to an end. Europe is moving forward on energy issues.
Gas prices in Europe have surged between 17 to 24% after the February 24 Russian invasion of Ukraine. Russia supplies gas to 23 European countries, and energy firms in Germany and Italy are working round the clock to ensure they continue to procure gas without falling foul of EU sanctions. A task easier said than done. Germany has reduced the consumption of Russian gas from 55 to 35%, but fears any further reduction could actually trigger deep recession. This is an apprehension felt by several European countries that want energy supplies to be insulated from sanctions. Bureau Report, India Today.